So here we have a question which tests your fundamental understanding about numbers and mathematics. It does get a little hard as you progress through the question, but don't panic. So the first one's simple enough. Write down in figures the number 6043. Now some people like to use a comma for the thousands, but these days it's acceptable that you don't do that. Now here we're doing the converse. Write down in words the number 32,005. So 32,000 and 35. Incidentally, I've used dashes there, but if you look up here, they haven't used dashes there, so you probably want to leave them out for consistency. Now here we've got using only the numbers in the following list. Write down for starters two numbers that add up to 90. So a good place to start really is to find two numbers which at the end add up to 10 or to 0. So we've got 45 and 55. 5 plus 5 equals 10 and carry 1. 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 1, that equals 10. So that would be 100 adding those two together. So really you want the first two numbers here to add up to 8 on their own for this to be 90. So let's have a look through here. 53 and 47, well the last two figures add up to 10, but the first two add up to 9, so that's no good. Let's look at 36, so that's a smaller number, and 54. So the first two, the last two numbers add up to 10, that's fine. The first two add up to 8 on their own. So having the carry 1 makes that 90, so we can put down 36 and 54. Okay. I was just looking to see if there's there are two others which will come up with the same figure. Looking quickly, I can't see it. But if you should find another pair of figures that do add up to 90, don't be tempted to write them down. You can only get that wrong then. It's only asking for two numbers. Look. The number which must be added to 36 to make 81. So, well, what you can do here is write down 81 minus 36. So, you know, you're doing the reverse. 81 minus 36 equals, and you can work this out, 5 is 45. Remember, it's got to be in the list up there, so if it's not in the list, then you've probably got it wrong. A multiple of 7, so this means you need to know your 7 times table. So 7 5s are 35, we haven't got that. 7 6s are 42. So that is a multiple of 7. Okay, again, if there's more than one multiple of 7 there, don't be tempted to do it, because it does say A, which implies just one number. Okay. This next part tests your ability to round. So it's testing your ability to round to the nearest 100. So what you need to do effectively is divide that by 100 and look at what remains. So if you divide that by 100, it's not looking for your working out here. So if you can do this in your head, do it in your head, or if not, do it on a scrap piece of paper. If you divide that by 100, you're left with 450. And I'm not going to write down the 7 for a second, but you've got 21 as the remainder. Now 21 is closer to 700 than 800, so you do write down 45,700. Okay, that's that number correct to the nearest 100. With the 1000 to the nearest 1000, you do the same sort of thing. You divide that by 1000. Again, use a piece of paper if you're struggling to do this in your head. In this case, we're left with 45, but you're left with 721 left over. So that's closer to 6,000 rather than 5,000. I hope you can see that. So your answer would be 46,000. Using only numbers between 20 and 29 inclusive, write down a number which has a factor of 6. What it means by a factor of 6, it means any number divisible by 6. So again, if you know your 6 times table, this should be relatively easy. So 6 ones are 6, 6 twos are 12, 6 threes are 18, 6 fours are 24, and 6 fives are 30. So we can see 24 lies between 20 and 29, so that's your answer. A cube number. Okay, what we mean by that is a number times itself times itself. So if we start with 2 times, let's look at 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. So 27 is between 20 and 29. A prime number, what do we mean by a prime number? It's any number that can only be divided by itself and 1. So it's a whole number that can be divided by itself and 1. So numbers such as that are 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19. So now we're getting on to our numbers between 20 and 29. It's not going to be 20 because you can do 2 times 10 or 4 times 5. It's not going to be 21 either, because that can be 7 times 3 gives you 21. It's not going to be 22 because 2 times 11 can give you 22, as well as 1 times 22. What about 23? Are there any numbers that can be divided into that except 1 and 23? Well, no, there aren't, so 23 is your answer.